What is this?
Hello. You know, there's a highly entertaining movie about a killer dog happening right over there. Here, check this out. This is a volcano, all right? It builds and crests. But this is a tectonic earthquake. Notice a little P wave, followed by a large S wave.
Yeah, I'm not an idiot.
Clearly. Well, this is the pattern in Somerville. Large P wave, small S wave, like an explosion.
Where's it coming from?
I don't know. I set up geophones, but I can't triangulate.
Are you using 3?
Yeah. I know how many sides there are in a triangle.
I just thought you were being obtuse.
Was that a geometry joke?
Yes, that's why I winked.
That's terrible. No, I loved it. Yes, I mean, somehow, a town that isn't anywhere near a tectonic plate, that has no underground volcanic activity, no fault lines, no fracking, no loud music even, is shaking on a daily basis.
Maybe it's the apocalypse.
Maybe it's the apocalypse.
I think, you know what? Give me angry. Will you give me angry? You've had a bad day. You're cranky? Yeah, thank you. Good. Ooh, angrier. Ooh, you're scaring me. Stop it. That's it. More. Yeah, come on. You're big. All right, destroy me.
Take my hand and come with me because you look so fine that I really want to make you mine. I say you look so fine that I really want to make you mine. 4, 5, 6, come on and get your kicks. Now you don't need the money when you look like that, do you, honey? I said, are you gonna be my girl?
Allegations about Princess Diana's death. Authorities now reviewing the new and sensational claim that she was actually murdered by the British government. ABC's chief legal affairs anchor here with more on that, Dan Abrams. And Dan, talk about a conspiracy theory.
Oh, yeah. Look, this may be the most thoroughly investigated car crash ever. But when you're talking about the death of Princess Diana, it seems some will never accept the official finding. After all, attributing her death to negligence, mistakes, bad behavior isn't nearly as tantalizing as a claim of murder.
It seemed like a terrible accident.
and was officially ruled just that, an accident, caused by, among other things, the gross negligence of driver Henri Paul. But now Scotland Yard is looking into a new claim that Princess Diana and her boyfriend Dodi Fayed were actually murdered by British Special Forces 16 years ago this month.
Whenever you bring in stories about Special Forces personnel, then immediately you've got the prospect of a red-hot story.
The allegation came in the form of a letter during a court-martial of Sergeant Danny Nightingale, a British Special Air Service sniper convicted of illegal gun possession. The letter alleged that a fellow Special Ops soldier told his wife their unit orchestrated the princess's death and cover-up.
They had a team of people over there on motorbikes, designing, planning the whole operation, waiting with cars, etc. So the car would be driven down at speed, driven by motorbikes to get them at high speed, driven into the tunnel, and the strobe light then would be used to disorientate Henri Paul, so he'd lose control of the car.
A new book said to be published next week by author Alan Power also claims the British government had Diana killed because they saw her as a threat.
The security services and the monarchy, the establishment realized there's a big danger looming.
Power alleges the princess was pregnant and planning on marrying Fayed and possibly preparing to leak embarrassing information about the prince. The problem? In 2008, after 6 months of reviewing every piece of evidence during a formal inquest into Diana's death, no evidence was found that she was pregnant or engaged or, of course, murdered.
There was no conspiracy to murder any occupants of that car.
Buckingham Palace has not commented on the allegations, and Scotland Yard is choosing its words carefully, saying that this is not a reinvestigation, but that they are just scoping the new allegation. Now, let's be clear. This accusatory letter came from the estranged parents of the wife of a former intelligence operative. Talk about hearsay upon hearsay upon hearsay. But when it comes out just as a new book, saying the same thing emerges, Scotland Yard has to at least look into it, and it's just too good for us not to discuss.
I guess, but can you imagine the kind of conspiracy this would have had to
and
be
the number
to
of
pull all of this
people
off?
who would have had to be involved and to have not said anything for all this time is absurd.
But what does Scotland Yard really do? As you say, they're not calling it an investigation. They're saying they're just going to look at the scope of all this. What do they do?
Well, publicly and privately, they're doing two different things. Publicly, they have to say, look, we are going to examine this. They're being very careful about what they say. Privately, I'm sure that they are rolling their eyes and saying, another one of these.
At some point they say, we looked at it,
yeah,
that's it.
we got to deal with this, but at least they can say that this was looked into without using the word reinvestigating.
My name is Scarlett Marlowe, and I'm a student in urban archaeology.
370 feet beneath this point is a hidden chamber
that might contain a critical missing piece of our history.
How are we supposed to get down there?
Catacombs. There are 200 miles of tunnels right underneath our feet.
They're holding the remains of 6 million corpses.
Stop. This is the Empire of the Dead.
These are human bones. We go through here?
Let's do it.
Keep slow and steady, yeah?
I think I'm stuck.
Just breathe with me, please. It's okay.
What was that?
Is everyone okay?
I think I am. What the hell do we do now, huh?
We can't go back. We should just keep moving. Tell me we didn't just go in a circle.
It's exactly the same.
No, everything's upside down.
What happened to the entrance?
Wait, there's something here.
Oh my god.
What the hell is this?
When I was a kid, we had a piano that looked exactly like this. I used to play it all the time. The A4 key was messed up. What's going on? Can you read that?
According to mythology, that's the inscription over the gates of hell. And they shall be made to crawl on their bellies to enter the kingdom of darkness.
Did you hear that?
Anybody there?
What's happening, Vanessa? Dad?
It wasn't my fault. It wasn't my fault!
Philip Hammond has promised that all necessary measures will be taken to protect the London Olympics, and that could even include shooting down aircraft using surface-to-air missiles. His comments came after the Americans expressed concern about the safety of their athletes and diplomats at the Games. Our reporter Jane Dodge is at the Ministry of Defence now.
Well, this really was designed with two audiences in mind, the Americans, but also a domestic audience. Really, for the British to say they have not been caught napping, as the Americans, it was suggested in The Guardian today, were concerned when it came to security at next year's Games. An article in The Guardian was suggesting the Americans were preparing to send over 1,000 of their own security personnel, including 500 FBI agents, because of their concerns about the protection of their diplomats and athletes. But Channel 4 News has also been told by friends of Philip Hammond that there was concern and frustration both within the MOD and the Home Office that certain officials within the Department for Communities and Local Government and local councils were dragging their feet on this issue, finding the idea of surface-to-air missiles in areas around London unpalatable. So, in effect, what was a planted question was asked by the former Defence Secretary, Liam Fox, today for reassurance that this would still be an option open to the military at next year's Games.
All necessary measures to ensure the security and safety of the London Olympic Games will be taken, including if the advice of the military is that it is required, including appropriate ground-to-air defences.
So what's this done to whittle down the 1,000 Americans, Jane? Will this reassure them?
Well, it may well reassure the Americans, John, but it's likely to cause some considerable concern amongst people living in London. One insider told me that these missiles could be on a ship moored in the Thames, or indeed at army bases in and around London. But it has to be said that surface-to-air missiles have been a reality at Games ever since the Atlantic Games in 1996. And the Defence Secretary and indeed his predecessor have made it clear that they feel that this is a deterrent for terrorists, but also part and parcel of a necessary and vital security effort called for at next year's Games.
Ladies and gentlemen, cabin crew, please remain seated.
Gonna have some rough air coming up.
Projections are all over the place. I think this thing is following us.
Please just take
There's something out there!
Excuse me?
What's happening?
It's just nerves.
There's a lot of crazy, unseen shit going on in here.
What is that?
Something's not right, Brad.
Mayday, mayday! Dual engine failure, I repeat. All engines out.
What the hell is going on right now? Revenge!
What did you say?
We just need to find the source.